Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to LettiSpeaks as we take a look into the super moon, the super blue moon. Thank you for stopping by. Make sure that you like, share, comment. If it resonates, if you're new to the page, welcome. My name is Letty. And if you feel led, please consider subscribing. If you do, go ahead and hit the bell so you'll be notified when new videos are posted, okay? Thank you so much for stopping by, my friends. Let's take a look. I did lay out all of my cards just for the sake of time. And so I'll be working from several different oracle decks and a couple of different tarot decks as well. And so from our Oracle T deck, we have the Sun, happiness and well-being. This could be a very fulfilling time in your life. And that fulfillment could have a lot to do with who you're connected to. We have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. You could have someone that's taking real good care of you right now, Scorpio, and making things really comfortable for you. Probably someone who's really catering to your needs, providing a space for you to really unwind and relax and just kind of recoup your energy. Definitely romantic energy coming out here with the Two of Wands and the Judgment. This could be you. I feel like I'm realizing that this could be a thing. Realizing that this could actually be a thing. You could be actually seeing things, formulating, seeing, or accepting this energy connected to you as your connection, as you actually are realizing some things. And that realization could be that this could actually be, your future or part of your destiny, right? There's some realizations happening here, and I feel like it is around love, around romance. Things may seem to be a little bit serious, a little bit more serious than you expected. And you could be making decisions to move forward. You could be moving in together as well. With dogs here, you could be getting together with friends. We do have the Three of Cups and the Moon here. You could be making plans to go out, with friends, with those in your close circle, those around you. The Moon actually could talk about you even possibly having dreams about getting together with friends, which will make you reach out and, put something together, or make you realize that it's time for a get together. It almost feels like that with this Moon energy and the Three of Cups. We also have the Tiger that came out here doing something risky and taking a chance. With the Star and the Queen of Pentacles. Whatever this is, it doesn't feel like risky, because the Queen of Pentacles, I don't see the Queen of Pentacles as risky unless this is you moving towards this energy. The Star does talk about maybe a wish that you have, a desire, or you being guided towards someone. And the Queen of Pentacles could be that energy. This feels like it could be risky for you to approach this energy for someone. And so that's what that feels like, being guided towards someone, but you see it as risky. I guess because the Queen of Pentacles is a lot, right? And you know you're going to have your stuff together if you're going to approach this energy. Because this energy is very grounded and stable, very secure and established, right? Not just anybody can approach the Queen of Pentacles, right? And so that makes sense, but you're being guided towards this energy. Tower with solid foundations and success with effort. We have the Eight of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. You could actually be moving closer to a realization of something you've been working on. And you could have been working so hard and just trying to do it in a way where you don't have to wait a long time. The Eight of Pentacles is fast movement, so you may find yourself like juggling things to try to really get this done. You're building something that's going to be very fulfilling to you, very rewarding. Whatever this is that you're working on, you're working hard and fast towards this. I feel like it could be a project of some kind. Bringing in, it could be even working and bringing in some moolah too. Pentacles talks about moolah. And for some of you, this could be you working on a physical goal. If you've been working on your body and you're seeing fast results, faster than you actually expected, as you've made time to squeeze in what it is that you've committed to do, and you are seeing the results. You will be very pleased with the results. With Cloud, we do have a little bit of trouble in paradise, temporary problem, Six of Swords, and the Page of Wands. So this could be for someone needing to move away from someone in particular, someone that's very immature, someone young, very probably a little bit childish as well. But it's just a temporary issue. With the Six of Swords, that says just move away from it. Do what you need to do to step away into calmer ground, peaceful ground. And so whatever you need to do to eliminate this energy, don't even allow it to, get you stirred up in your emotions, Scorpio. Whatever this is, it just feels real immature and childish. So these are the energies that are coming out right now that I'm seeing. If they are resonating with you, then this message could be for you. Now, how with the energies coming out, we're going to take a look at how you can utilize the energies that are present around you. And this may point to energies that haven't been mentioned here. These are energies that you have at your disposal, right? In any of these situations. First of all, we have some of these names are difficult. Kosazana, bringing in celestial alignment. Mabuya Nahanda, this is my favorite. We have Queen Mother Nanny with liberation. Mabuya Nahanda brings in radical rebirth. And then Marie Laveau, bringing in good juju. And so with these energies at your disposal, Scorpio, let's take a look and see what lies in these energies. Starting with Nicole Sazana, which is from the water element. And she carries the energy from the Temple of High Priestess. And water element is cleansing energy, intuitive, emotionally balanced, and fluid. And when we take a look at the Temple of the High Priestess, we're looking at goddesses or gods. They're like keepers of mysteries of the universe. They have a direct connection with Source. And so she brings in the energy of healing with that water element and teaching as well, and this deep desire for connection with humanity. And this may be bringing up energies for you that you're able to utilize. For some of you, you may have this natural progression towards seeing yourself in your divinity. And it's almost like that thing that you feel like you've been given from the powers on high that no one can take. This is yours. It's a part of you. And apart from it, you can't exist, right? This is your divine being. And this asks or takes a deep dive into discover your inner feelings. We are talking about water energy here, and utilizing your emotions to align yourself with what it is that you desire. Right? It's through your emotions that you are able to actually hear and receive through the connection that you have. And so you may be being asked to actually allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to express. That may actually be a trigger power for you, Scorpio. That may be the thing that aligns you with your celestial powers and the frequency of the sacred, and so, and that's interesting because part of manifestation does align with being able to feel. Powerful manifestors are usually people that are able to actually, I don't know if they would be considered empaths, but that would make sense because I've heard, many times about when it comes to manifesting how there's a connection with the heart. When it comes to manifesting, there's a connection with being able to feel deeply and feel that manifestation and actually pull from this very deep feeling part of our being. And so here, this is matching that frequency with your feeling, right? This is part of the power that you hold, Scorpio. And trusting yourself. The High Priestess has a heavy level of knowing, right? And so for me, that's always a reminder that there's a need to trust yourself without a shadow of a doubt, okay? And that you're always being guided, okay? So that definitely is for someone. This is energy that you have at your disposal. Deep level of feeling that you can actually align with your celestial powers as you are being guided to operate in your gifts, in your knowing, in your being guided, okay? And then we have Abuya Nakas or Nabuya Nahanda. I was going to say her real name, which is Nakasakana, Sharwe Nakasakana. And she was actually a revolutionary Shona woman who fought to free people from the reign of, oppressors in her land. And she comes from the element of air, which I love because air is the energy of being very intentional and directed, intelligence, its connection, and being underestimated, right? Sometimes being underestimated is your power. Let them underestimate you. Let them think they know what they don't really know. That gives you the upper hand. That's for somebody. Now, she comes from the Temple of Ancestors. And the Temple of Ancestors actually carry this energy of governing and providing for basic needs. And so you could have a specific ancestor that you're connected to. You could have this energy of support, right? Coming in when it comes to basic needs. And these are actually deified historical figures. So you may be connected to someone specifically, Scorpio, that you heavily are connected to. So I will allow you to determine, right? And see if that resonates. Well, for someone, this is definitely a resource for you. This is an energy that you are able to use. It's aligning with an ancestor, right? Now, when it comes to Charwe Nikasakana or Mabuya Nahanda. Nahanda was actually a ancestor spirit that was channeled from her ancestor, right? That she actually tapped into. And she brings in the energy of understanding your power around things that you see that aren't right, and the fact that you have the ability to choose, right, at any moment to stop it and to do something different, to stop it and to restart, to be reborn, to try again, to redirect your path. You're not stuck in anything. At any moment, you can make a different decision and go a different way, right? It's understanding that. That's the information and the energy that she's bringing in for you, that you can always start again, right? Just like the sun arises new every morning, you have that ability as well. And so in times where you find things didn't quite go as you planned, simply wipe yourself off, get up, and move forward. Just understand that that may not have been your path, but there is definitely a path to success for you. Most definitely. Right? And so it's understanding too that life is about change. It's about transition. Nothing ever stays the same. And if it does, then we need to be worried because things are supposed to be changing, just like the seasons. And there will be times where we don't succeed, we'll fail. There'll be times where we'll, in the middle of something, decide that we want something totally different, or we want to go a different direction. We'll change our mind. Times where we'll need to make a comeback, These are what I will call cycles, right? That we will go through again and again. And we'll get so good at it usually to where it doesn't even phase us, and we just begin to really get really good at it, right? The more you do something, the better you get. Kind of like riding a bicycle. That's how life is too. It gets to the point where it doesn't even phase you anymore. And you're like, oh, here this comes. Okay, let's go ahead and do this, right? But we get the opportunity to do that. And it's understanding that you hold the power to make that decision. Okay? There's no need to struggle about it, right? Just when you feel like there's something that needs to be done, just do it. And release the idea that you've failed or that you didn't do something right or you messed up or things have to always be perfect. Right? Just be willing to make the choices and the decisions and understand that you are constantly on this incline. Okay? And that's definitely for someone. That's an energy available for you to use through this super blue moon. Spirit is bringing that up for you so that you will know. We're not tripping on small things. We're on the incline. Our next card is Queen Mother Nanny. Now, she brings in the energy of fire, and of course, she's a queen. She's a queen temple in the element of fire, which is determined, strong, transformational, and radiant. And the queens actually are also the energies that bring in this level of historical insight. It's referring back to places and positions that we have been. And this could be being able to tap into even previous experiences or previous lives that we've had. It has a lot to do with the third eye and being able to tap in, but it has a lot to do with history, the time before you. And so that may be very significant for someone. You may even be really interested and tapped into your lineage and your history, right? This is energy that's of use for you. And how does that help? You knowing who you are and where you've come from gives you direct information on where you're going, right? Many times it's directly related. And if you don't know, many times it's really hard to really see where you're going. It gives information about the past is very significant, and it gives information about the future, and so for whoever this is resonating with, you could be someone tapped in like that and have a lot of information at your disposal. If that is not you, you may be being called to dig and to start discovering about yourself and your history and actually what your lineage is. I feel like for someone that's very significant, that may give you not only information, but it may also even allow you to tap into your power. There's information that lies in history that tells us about ourselves, that actually would answer some questions as to maybe why things are the way they are and why you have certain tendencies and where certain norms and cultural things come from. And so you could already be in line with digging in. If not, you could find yourself actually being directed to information that's going to be useful for you. With Marie Laveau, this is just simply saying you got good juju. Good juju means you have a level of good fortune and abundance being placed in your lap. She comes from the element of fire as well. Very radiant energy, transformational, strong, determined, and she's also from the ancestors. So this feels very like a lot of the energy at your disposal is actually resources outside of yourself. It may be things that you have access to. And it may be worth actually even doing some digging about yourself, about your history, about your ancestry, if you don't know. And I don't mean really, I'm not really big on the 23 for me's and those types of things, but I like to find the elders. Someone, if you have this, someone who actually is maybe, a couple of generations before you, if you still have access, they have the stories, right? They have, the information that you need. And so I would start there, because someone is being asked to actually tap into your history, tap into even your bloodline. Now, Marie Laveau comes from ancestors as well. And so this is energy coming in to support you. This may in fact be energies directly correlated with your bloodline, right? That is present and ready to assist you in this lifetime. These are energies that are at your disposal. It feels very rooted around your ancestors, your ancestry, your history, knowing who you are. And so it almost feels like you may have some homework to do, Scorpio. And in doing that homework, you may find some answers to some questions that you have. And so these energies are available, for your use. They're at your disposal, okay? Now, there is also some things that Spirit would like you to recognize. And I did pull from my tarot deck. And just a reminder, if I haven't shown you, we have the Fool. I don't think I've shown you yet. The Ace of Wands. The Empress. The Hermit. And the Nine of Swords. So first off, with the Fool, it does feel like you're being guided with the Fool and the Ace of Wands, like new doors, new opportunities, new directions are opening up for you. You may even be feeling all of a sudden like you are desiring, like something is no longer fulfilling. And if you're wondering why, you feel this sense of discontentment arising up in you, Scorpio, it's because you're being guided towards a new path, towards something new. You're being guided to do something differently. With the Fool, we're talking about, going out and starting something new. The Fool is the very first card in the major arcana. It's the start of a journey, right? It's the very start. It's not having any preconceived notions, being open to discover and explore. It's that part of us that's willing to step out and make a leap without even knowing where it's going to lead. It's like the child part of us, that childlike aspect of us, that's really not concerned with whether something is possible or not. They're just along for the enjoyment. They're along for the exploration, right? They're going about smelling flowers and skipping. They're not analyzing things and trying to figure things out. They're just enjoying the experience. And so it feels a lot like that. And so you could be setting out on something new. You could find yourself feeling a little bit discontented right now or coming up here in the future. Recognize that that energy is inviting you in to choose a different path, to go a different way, possibly to do something that you've never done before. And we did get the star over here, and the energies that are present right now, where it says do something risky, take a chance, and it was clarified with the star and the Queen of Pentacles. You may be guided to actually do something different. And this could be something that you have a desire to do. It doesn't have to be. It just feels new. It feels new. And it feels like releasing yourself for a moment from fear, from limits, and allowing yourself to approach life full-heartedly. Yeah. And some may interpret this as just jumping off the cliff, but with the understanding that you will be caught, right? There's something there that's going to catch you, right? And so not sure what it is or how it's going to happen or when, right? But there's a thrill there. And so, and then with the Ace of Wands, this represents fire energy, right? We had a lot of that here coming in for the energies that are available already for you to use. Now, Spirit is wanting you to recognize that you carry this element of you in its most primitive form. And this is about passion. It's actually a card with the colors. The colors carry frequency, right? The colors are very orangey, reddish, yellowish. We're talking about the lower parts of our energy system. Mainly, right? When we talk about passion, we're talking about the sacral chakra. That is where our creativity lies. It's also the yellows, the solar plexus. This is our personal power. And so this is passion, and it's will, determination, it's idealism, it's allowing yourself to breathe. And it's fire that actually fuels our spirit, and it tells us, to move, to step up, to take the risk, to do something that's going to make a difference. And the Ace of Wands is not really fully realized. It's just the beginning. It's raw potential. It's that light bulb that goes off in your head. It's the idea that comes in that sparks you to move on it and try to actually realize it and bring it into fruition. But it's the very essence of what's needed to get anything going, right? And so this new path that's coming up for you, that is before you, that is opening up, this opportunity will be fueled with passion. I feel like it's going to be something that you are driven towards, right? You are going to be very attracted to this, kind of like a moth to the flame. It's going to be something very interesting about this path that's opening up for you, about this door. You're being guided to take the risk, take the chance. In this case, it's a healthy sense of you only live once, right? And so also we have the Empress out here too. Now the Empress is very interesting coming out here because the Empress carries a very nurturing energy, very attractive, very fruitful. Like there's this level of outpouring and it's infectious. It's almost like everything that she touches, it grows. And there's some effect that's made on that thing. And carries a heavy level of like maternal energy. Now, I don't know why I'm thinking back to the ancestors that we just got through talking about. This could have, and we have a lot of queen energy that came out all through the reading. And so this could definitely point to energies that you may do well to recognize around you. You may have a lot of feminine energy around you when it comes to ancestors that are there to support you, that's guiding you, that's protecting, that's even helping to provide for your basic needs in this situation. You could actually be the one that carries this energy. And we're only talking about energy. I know it gives the energy or gives the idea of he, she, the pronouns, but we're just talking about energy. The Empress comes in with a high level of idealism when it comes to femininity, right? Loving energy, very merciful energy, very nurturing, as I said. This very open and graceful energy, accepting, without judgment. She's like the softer side of the authority. And it's the parent that actually guides the moral conscience of the child. It shapes with care, teaches through compassion, and it's a guide with a gentle hand. And so this energy comes in as kind of like this life symbol or this creative force. This is what Spirit wants you to be aware of. And again, as I stated, either this is a very strong energy around you as a supportive force, or this is the energy that you carry. And it could be both. It could be both. You carry a very strong energy of creation. If I could sum up the Empress in a word, it would be creation. That's what she represents. This creation of many things, good things, this level of creation. And so, and when we think of mothers, that's what the mother is. She's a creator. She is the creator. Everything comes through the mother. And so this is pointing to energy that you are being guided to recognize about yourself. You carry a heavy level of creative potential. You also have this supportive energy around you as well, as support, as guidance. And this is beautiful. I love this. In connection with this Fool and the Ace of Wands, as you're stepping into this new space, this new experience, Spirit wants you to recognize what you are, who you are, what you carry, what you have at your disposal. All of this applies as we look through the eyes of the Empress. The Hermit. Now, the Hermit is the wisdom part of that. The Hermit actually is the Hermit is the energy that is driven into a level of solitude in order to be enlightened. Whenever there's something that's driving you kind of half crazy and you can't really get the answer, you can't find out what the possible solution could be, the Hermit steps in to bring us into this place of seeking wisdom, seeking answers, seeking guidance, right? That only you can find for yourself, right? You went and you asked and you sought and you observed and you looked. No one could give you the answer. This is going to be something that you'll have to go in and seek out for yourself, because this is personal. And no matter how much, this is actually an energy, right? And you'll know when you're in this energy because you just feel a sense of being alone. You can be like in a room full of 50, 60 people, and there you are in the middle of the room, like kind of like in your own little bubble, alone, computing mentally, connecting mentally, right? Completely disconnected from everyone around you, right? That's the energy of the Hermit. And this is needful. This energy is very needful from time to time. There's a time where we need to go places where only we can go and nobody else can follow. It's needful. And the Hermit is all about solitude. It's about the wisdom that we find when we go into isolation, right? It could be like the energy of going to the wilderness, we could call it that, or going up to the mountaintop, or just going out into nature, away from all of the busyness. This is the energy of isolating yourself from other people so that you can actually hear and be guided. Sometimes it can be considered to be a little bit lonely. Sometimes it could be interpreted from others as to be bitter, but it's none of those things. But it's the being drawn to the inner voice when we have gotten off track or for some reason no longer are connected in a way that allows us to be guided. It's going in to reestablish a solid connection is what it is, to yourself, to your higher self, to your source. And you come out, with a light. You come out with clarity. You come out with guidance and direction. And I feel like Spirit is bringing this energy out so that you can be aware. If in times where you have felt, this may in fact be a time where you're feeling this sense of indifference. As I stated in the beginning, you may be feeling unfulfilled right now. Like not a lot of things are satisfying you. You're desiring something different, something new. Could be being drawn into hermit mode so that you can find out exactly what that is, right? And it's a time where you take time to yourself to go in and illuminate the dark parts of yourself. This kind of has parts with the High Priestess as well. The High Priestess has already learned to accept those deeper aspects of herself, to get insight, right? The hermit is learning to do that, is being drawn to do that. And so it's almost like there's a journey within the journey that the hermit is taking, right? And it's to go into the underworld, which is we're calling the spiritual world, right? To be guided and come out with that guidance. And it's not being afraid to explore those darker places within us, okay? Now, there's something that is causing a little bit of skewed vision, I feel like, with the Nine of Swords. There's something that seems a little bit maybe even cruel. I'm not sure, but this Nine of Swords brings in that energy. So the Nine of Swords is air energy, first off. And so it's what's going on in your mind. It's what's ruminating mentally for you, Scorpio. And the 9 talks about an ending, right? It might even be that point in time where things get the worst. They say a cold is worse at midnight, and then in the morning it subsides and it gets a little better. This may even be you being afraid, right, of what the worst thing that it is that could happen. It's that kind of energy. And allowing your mind to get the best of that, of those fears. And even, causing some restlessness too. It could also represent just feeling overwhelmed with always having something to solve, something to do. It's like, okay, what is it now? Or having questions that are still unanswered. And so you may even be feeling like there's a part of this process where you're feeling like the universe is playing some kind of trick on you too. But that's not so. That's not so. Let yourself be guided by your heart instead of your mind, because the mind has the potential to take us places that we may not want to go. The mind even has the potential to even make the body sick, and so there's the need to be guided by the heart as well as by the mind. In the beginning of this, Spirit brought out the energy of allowing yourself to feel what's coming up right now, to feel your emotions, to tap in, right? I feel like that's going to be really important during this process for you, Scorpio, is that you really be tapped in with your emotional being and be really free when it comes to that, not to hold yourself back, because that's going to be needed to balance out this energy that may be very tempting, that may even, follow you stepping into this new path, right? Immediately after you make a decision, it's like, oh, okay, so what did I just do? Okay, how is this gonna, these flood of thoughts and energies come just flooding in, but it's not for you to try to figure it out, but it's more for you to feel your way through. Okay, I just made this decision. How does this feel? Okay, how am I feeling about this decision instead of trying to crank out every little detail? Allow yourself to be really guided, by your heart through this. You may even find it more enjoyable that way. Instead of worrying, you may actually find yourself experiencing, right? This is what you've been wanting, something new, something fresh, to get out of that stale energy. And so this could also be being careful to make sure that you are moving in the energy of harmony, not having to feel like you have to control everything or create, controlling environments. But this is allowing peace to be at the center of everything. The Nine of Swords. Yeah. And so if you are open to these energies, Scorpio, that are around you right now, that are available for your use, the energies that Spirit wants you to recognize within yourself, that may in fact come up during this process that you are in, that you may be heading towards right now. I did pull a few oracle cards that if you're open to this energy, to this information, these are the results of being open, okay? We have the Divine Matrix. We have Earth Magic. And we have Bearing Fruit. Three beautiful, beautiful cards. And so for Divine Matrix, we have a tapestry and woven together. This is alluding to the reality of what it is. Like, we tend to think that many times we're on this path all alone, like we're the only ones experiencing things, when actually it's a connected experience. Everything is connected. Everyone is connected in some way, somehow, in the realm of the spirit. Like, the knowledge that we share, we're all divine, and part of this beautiful creation. We can call it a tapestry. And each of us are weaving our own experiences into that fabric of reality, right? And we're learning to really see things differently and trust the process as things are unfolding. Everybody is having this experience, the Divine Matrix. And for this particular experience, it's above and beyond this practical reality. I feel like this is really tapping into the spiritual experience that we're having and the synchronicities that happen, that's tying things together, and these signs. And so it's really understanding and pointing to the fact, like sometimes when you're laying out under the stars and you're like, wow, now that's something to give thought to, the fact that these stars that I'm looking at are the very same stars that someone way on the other side of the world, in Iceland somewhere, Antarctica, they're able to see the same sky, maybe a different section, but we're under the same cosmic energy, and it's all related. It's all interrelated and tied together. It's understanding that. And so there's a level of truth that's going to be unfolded, right? That's going to bring this into perspective for you. And it's called The Matrix. If you're familiar with that movie, this is called The Divine Matrix. It's not The Matrix, but it gives you kind of like an insight on how that may look, right? You know how we see the movie and it shows how everything is interconnected, right? From a higher point of view. It's kind of like that, but in real life, in the spiritual realm, everything is interconnected. And there is a divine operator that's in charge of everything, that has connected everything together. Things that you wouldn't even realize have any connection actually has connection, right? And so these multiple realities that are existing at the same time, it helps us to understand that we don't live in a vacuum, right? We're surrounded by different things happening at the same time, on the same timeline, on the other timelines. And at some point, they actually will and can connect. And so the beautiful part about that is that you have a part in that, Scorpio. Your dream is a part of that beautiful tapestry being woven together. Okay? Earth magic. Now for earth magic, this is what's necessary here, okay? Which will be made available to you. This is a level of grounding necessary. We can't be so heavenly minded that we're no earthly good, right? As you can see, there's the touching of the feet to the ground, right? There's so much to see in the cosmos, in the spiritual realm, but there's even more to see when we come back down to reality and ground ourselves in our bodies, this physical vessel that we're in, right? There has to be a balance, right? And so earth magic brings in this energy of being grounded in nature, right? Understanding the place where everything begins, right? Where it was spoken, into existence, if we want to say that, or where things were ignited before they were manifested, and knowing that you are a part of this flourishing of that creation, and that which is the earth, right? And that the earth is actually also a part of you. And so this is talking about our relationship with all things, again, how everything is connected, and that the fact that the earth actually has consciousness, right? When we look at an oak tree, how it just begins by one little small little acorn, and then its life force just sprouts out up into the air, and down into the earth. It's understanding that we also have that same life cycle of manifestation. Everything evolves in the same way. There's this spiraling up, right? Everything evolves and grows. Even our dreams, even that space below our consciousness, it also evolves. And so going back to the tree, it's understanding that the importance of understanding the concept of planting, right? Things can be planted. Seeds can be planted in our mind and grow, right? Just like seeds can be planted in the earth, right? And so when we talk about earth magic, we're talking about understanding like how concepts cross over. Again, how everything is interrelated, and trusting that process, right? It's not just the physical, just like it's not just the spiritual, but it's all things. And the earth plays a very important part in everything, for that is our grounding. Without the earth, like, where would we be? And so it's bringing in the necessity to go back to the bare beginnings of things, which is the earth, okay? That's where the earth magic comes from. Everything began from the very beginning of creation, which was the earth. And so it's the need to go back. When we talk about getting grounded, we're talking about going back to connect with our foundations, to connect with the earth. Plant your feet on the ground. Get rooted and grounded. Connect with Mother Gaia, so that we can go be recharged again, so that we can go back to being refilled and getting the necessities that we need, the nourishment. There's a level of nourishment that happens when we do that. And we need to do that. That's non-negotiable, right? This may be something that becomes a part of your routine as you move forward, as you recognize the necessity of being and staying grounded, okay? There must be some type of routine that you have for self-care. Yeah. Especially when you step into places, when we talk about spirituality and tapping into realms, higher realms of consciousness. The grounded part of that comes first. And so if you're not familiar with things like grounding, definitely look it up. There's so many things that I could say, but it's worthy of you taking the time to discover that and to find out if you don't know. I feel like if you're watching this video, you already know, but if for some reason you don't, look it up and find out what that means. Find out what ways you feel like can work for you personally. Okay. Lastly, we have bearing fruit. And bearing fruit is talking about birthing, right? This is bringing into fruition. This is seeing the results of hard work or ideas or consistent thought manifesting into form. Again, it's the relationship between the outer world and the internal world of our feelings and our beliefs, right? And so it's asking the question, again, it's amazing how all these concepts just kind of are hitting on the same thing. If your life was in fact a tree, what type of fruit would it bear? You know, again, the mind, the power of the mind and its ability to create our circumstances, right? Whether that's negative or whether it's positive, the mind has tremendous power. And so this asks you to actually take a look at the power that you hold with how you think, the feelings that you allow to exist and entertain, your beliefs, and how those things are being reflected in your outer world. Again, drawing back to this power that you have to create your reality is what this is saying. Bearing fruit. Your ability to create your reality. You hold that power, Scorpio. You hold that power. And so it's understanding that you are powerful, you are fertile, and this is your season to make things happen. And that may in fact be with very little effort, with all this that came out and all this support and all of this power that you're standing in right now. And so this beckons you to really pay attention, like, to what you're thinking. Pay attention to the feelings that you're entertaining, and the seeds that you're sowing mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially, because more than ever you will be bringing into fruition is what that is saying. And so you are the manifesting machine right now. And it's accepting that and utilizing that to your benefit if you're open to receive this message, okay? And let's see. Lastly, we're going to pull out some angel answers for you. Angel answers for Scorpio. So if you have a question in mind, Scorpio, go ahead and get that question. And let's see what the angels have to say. So your angels are saying, look for a sign. So if you ask a specific question that requires a specific answer, not a yes or no answer, your angel is saying, look for a sign. If you ask whether or not this is going to work, whatever that is that you have in your mind, you're wondering if it would be successful, the angels are saying yes, success, and to take action, right? That's what we've been talking about here in this message. You taking action and doing something different. And your angel says yes. If there was a yes or no question that you had in mind, yes. Simply yes, okay? All right, Scorpio, that is for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. As you could tell, I am tired. I just got off of work, and so, but I do feel like I wanted to come and do some readings for you all. And so thank you for stopping by tonight. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your attention, your time. And so that's what I have for you. Please like, share, comment. If it resonates, definitely let me know how that resonated. If you're new, my name is Letty. Feel free to subscribe if you're liking the energy that's emitting from this page. And We will see you next time, my Scorpio friends. That was the energy that came out around this super blue moon. Again, until next time, I hope you are able to find some joy right now, which I feel like you are. For many of you, this is a very beautiful time in life for you, and so I'm happy about that. All right, so until next time, thank you again for stopping by. My name is Letty, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of this week. Bye.